Welcome, everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to find the area of triangles and quadrilaterals. How are we learning it? Through the finding the area of triangles and quadrilaterals notes and the finding the area of triangles and quadrilaterals assignment. When can we use this information? To determine the square footage of a housing property that you are interested in purchasing. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the finding the area of triangles and quadrilaterals assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the finding the area of triangles and quadrilaterals notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the finding the area of triangles and quadrilaterals assignment. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is to continue working on the Geometric Modeling Study Guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the Finding the Area of Triangles and Quadrilaterals notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. Now, what is area? Area is the amount of space that a two-dimensional shape takes up. So two-dimensional means flat. So it's the amount of space that is taken up. Area is always calculated by finding the product of the base times the height of the object. So for instance, we have a rectangle here. It would be found by multiplying this length times this length. Some formulas for you. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. The area of a square or a rectangle is just the base times the height. The area of a parallelogram is base times height. And the area of a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 over 2 times the height. So notice they're all different variations of base times height. So let's look at a triangle. So we have a triangle here. We know that the area is 1/2 the base times the height. Now the base is the bottom part where the height connects to. So notice the height of the triangle starts at this vertex and comes down to here. So this is my base, not this. So we can see that my base is 3 and my height from here to here is 2. So therefore it's 1/2 times 3 times 2. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, and then half of that is 3. So my area is 3. Now I need to always include my units. It's in inches. Now, whenever we are multiplying together, we need to raise it to an exponent of 2. So anytime we find area, we are looking at square units. So this is 3 inches squared. Now here's a video that you can watch on how to check your work when working with the area of a triangle. So you can go ahead and watch that video. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbolab to check our work when finding the area of a triangle. So on Symbolab, we're asked to place the height and the base. So let's say that the base of our triangle is 4 and the height is 6. We go ahead and place that in there and we go ahead and hit go. And it tells us that area is 1/2 base times height, and it shows us how to multiply it out and says that the area of that triangle should be 12. So as long as you know the base and the height, you can place that in here. It will show you how to solve for it and what the answer is. So you can use this to check your work when trying to find the area of a triangle. Now let's take a look at the area of a rectangle. Now remember, the area of a rectangle is base times height. So the base is down here, the height is here. So we just multiply 3 times 5 and we get 15. Again, don't forget your units. The units in this case is yards, and it's area, so it should be yards squared. So this is 15 yards squared. Now there's a video here that shows you how you can check your work when working with the area of a rectangle using Symbolab. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbolab to check our work when finding the area of a rectangle. So we go to our area calculator here. And it asks us here to place in what the width and the length are. So as long as we know what those are, we can fill those in and it will calculate it for us. So let's say our width is 5 and our length is 8. We'll go ahead and click go. It shows us down here that area is width times length. It shows us how to multiply it out, and then tells us that the area should be 40. So this is how you can use Symbolab to check your work when multiplying the area of a rectangle. Now let's take a look at how to find the area of a parallelogram. Now a parallelogram looks like this. It's kind of like a slanted rectangle. And the area of a parallelogram is the base times the height. Now the base, again, just like the triangle, is from the vertex to the bottom, which in this case is 2. So my base is 2. My height is 5. So I multiply 2 times 5 and I get 10. Now don't forget your units. It's in kilometers. So it becomes kilometers, and its area, so it's kilometers squared. So it's 10 kilometers squared. Now there's a video here that shows you how you can check your work when finding the area of a parallelogram using Symbolab. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbolab to check our work when finding the area of a parallelogram. So we'll go to the parallelogram area and perimeter calculator on Symbolab, and we'll click on area right here. And all we need to enter in is the length of the base and the length of the height. So let's say that the length of the base is 9 and the height is 6. We'll go ahead and click go. And it tells us that the area is the height times the base. It shows you how to multiply it out and then tells you that the area should be 54. So this is how we can use Symbolab to check our work when trying to find the area of a parallelogram. Now there's a video here also that shows you how to check the area of a rhombus. So you can use that as well. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbolab to check our work when finding the area of a rhombus. So we go to Symbolab and then go to the rhombus area and perimeter calculator. And we're going to use area given side and height. So let's say that our height in this case is 8. And each side is 6. So we'll go ahead and enter that in and go ahead and click go. If we scroll down, it tells us that the area is A times H. It shows you how to multiply it and then tells you that the area should be 48. So this is how we can use Symbolab to check our work when working with the area of a rhombus. Now, how do we find the area of a trapezoid? Now, a trapezoid is like a rectangle, but one set of sides is different from each other. So this one is 6 and this one is 4, so this side is shorter than this one. So the area of a trapezoid is the base 1 plus base 2 over 2 times the height. Well, base 1 and base 2 are the sides that are not the same as each other. So I would add 4 plus 6 over 2 times the height, which is 5. Well, 4 plus 6 is 10, divided by 2 is 5, and then 5 times 5 is 25. So my answer would be 25. Now don't forget your units. It's in miles, so it'll be miles, and then it's the area, so it'll be miles squared. So this is 25 miles squared. Now there's a video here that shows you how you can check your work when finding the area of a trapezoid using Symbolab. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can use Symbolab to check the area of a trapezoid. So we go to our trapezoid area and perimeter calculator, and we click on area here. And now all we have to do is place in what the area of base 1, which they define as A, is, and then the area of base 2, which they define as B, times the height. So we'll go ahead and fill that in. So let's say that the length of A is 4 and the length of B is 6, and then the height is 4. So we'll go ahead and click go. It shows us how to calculate the area, which is the sum of the lengths of the bases divided by 2 times the height. So it enters all that in here and shows you step by step how to do it, and then it tells you that the area should be 20. So this is how you can check your work on Symbolab when working with the area of a trapezoid. Let's take a look now at the Finding the Area of Triangles and Quadrilaterals assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, we can see the questions. So it says, find the area of the figure. So we can see that it's a rectangle, so the area of a rectangle is the base times the height. So we would multiply 7.9 times 11.1. And when we do that, we get 87.69 kilometers squared, which is this one here. So we'll go ahead and mark that as our answer. Then we'll move to the next one. The next one says find the area of the figure. And this one is a parallelogram. So the area of a parallelogram is the base times the height as well. So the base is 12 and the height is 7. So we multiply 12 times 7 and we get 84, which is this one here. And you'll continue to answer all these questions until you get to the end. When you get to the end, go ahead and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.